focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. Symphony presents Thinkers of Tomorrow in partnership with News 18 Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Symphony Presents Thinkers of Tomorrow in partnership with News 18 Network. This brand new initiative titled Thinkers of Tomorrow is spread across multiple cities with an aim to identify and celebrate the achievements of India's most sustainable and progressive MSMEs across all regions. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Anuj Arora, Chief Marketing Officer, Symphony Limited, onto the stage to set the context for the initiative with his welcome address.
We believe that this event of Thinkers of Tomorrow is just a small beginning to a long journey that we have in front of us. We are in the business of green cooling, fortunately for us, so we can talk about it, we can promote it across the globe. But there's a misconception that needs to be cleared by all of us in our control environment that sustainability in ESG is not inversely proportional to profits. It can go hand in hand together, but we need to create education around it. We need to create enough solutions that people can use it, can talk about it, implement in their smaller capacities wherever they are. And that's why we are here to talk about the MSMEs who have done something about it. And it's just a small beginning. We have a long way to go. And that's what we are looking at with this event, looking at it every year so that more and more people join the tribe and work together. That's from our side. Let's work together in making our workplaces more comfortable, more productive, and more sustainable. Thank you.
Moving on, the upcoming speaker is a stalwart from the energy sector, a name to reckon with. Let me invite on stage Dr. Satish Kumar, President and Executive Director, AEEE, or Alliance for an Energy Efficient Economy, to deliver the keynote address.
Greetings to all the esteemed dignitaries and guests present here today. And it gives me immense pleasure to join you all this evening. And I express my heartfelt appreciation to Symphony and News 18 Network for their exemplary efforts in uniting us to promote and acknowledge the thriving MSME sector through this endeavor. We all know how critical MSME sector is for the Indian economy. The Indian economy relies heavily on the MSME sector and often referred to as the backbone. Due to the sector's notable impact on employment opportunities, exports, and contributions to the GDP, more than 110 million people are employed by over 63 million MSMEs that operate in India. And they are particularly notable for the work that they do in the manufacturing and the services sector. MSMEs contributes more than 1/3 to India's GDP and account for nearly half of the country's total exports. With a growth rate of around 10% over the last decade, its contribution to GDP is expected to increase further in the coming years. So there are several headwinds and challenges that need to be addressed to ensure MSME's sustained growth, which is so critical for the Indian economy. Sometimes inadequate infrastructure in transportation, power, communications are the major challenges that MSMEs in India are impacted by. At the same time, the transition to net zero emissions also presents immense growth opportunities for MSMEs in India. The challenge is to align cost-effective actions and cut emissions and support short and medium-term growth for the MSME sector at large. As the demand for renewable energy and low-carbon technology grows, MSMEs that can both adapt and adopt greener and cleaner production processes and enhance business competitiveness to deliver low-carbon products and services will certainly experience faster growth and increased demand and revenue. The Indian government also has several initiatives to support the MSME sector, including the introduction of schemes such as Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, Credit Guarantee Fund Scheme for micro and small enterprises, Technology Upgradation Fund schemes, and Entrepreneurship and Skill Development Program schemes. Investment support further needs to be strengthened through these schemes and additional investments for adoption and integration of energy efficient and low carbon technologies. Significant amount of support will be required for this transition to affected MSMEs to adopt and transition to alternate and new technological needs as required by many sunrise industries. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize that the transition to net zero economy will present challenges, but will also offer immense opportunities for MSMEs in India. It will be essential to support these firms and companies to ensure that they can adapt to the changing business landscape and continue to power India's economic growth and development. Industries and decision makers must come together to build the capacity of the MSMEs and its workforce to help achieve the 2070 net zero roadmap set out by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Thank you once again, and best wishes to the winners today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for this evening's panel discussion titled Navigating New World Order, Building a New India.
So let's kick off this conversation, and I'd like to begin with Mr. Rajiv Sen, Senior Advisor, MSMEs at the Niti Aayog. Give us a sense, when the government talks about a $5 trillion economy, when they speak about Amrit Kal, what is the role for MSMEs that the government envisages?
Now, coming to the $5 trillion economy, which our Honorable Prime Minister has put a vision for us, all of us, I would take it at two levels. One is the implementation part, and the second is policy. Now, when I say implementation, I mean to talk about those policies which are already on ground and which are already working, but they need to be working faster, better, and higher coverage. For instance, in this year's budget, as far as financing is concerned, the credit guarantee scheme, which by the way is a very, very popular and successful scheme and has been very well received by the MSMEs, the corpus has been enhanced, which will help the MSMEs to get another a loan of another 2 lakh crores at a lower rate of interest. So, interest subvention, making loans available are some of the areas in the financing which would help MSMEs. I would just like to add to that, we have what we call the Self-Reliant India scheme, which was launched last year, which is basically a equity financing, because till now we have the credit financing. So this is the first of its type where MSMEs can access to equity finance. Coming down to technology, as you know, there are already 18 state-of-the-art technology centers across the country. Within the next 3 years, government proposes to take it to 53. So this will be spread all across the country, and each would have a specialized role. And along with that, there will be extension centers. So there will be 100 extension centers which would be drawing upon the expertise of each of these technology centers based on their locations. Now, these technology centers also double up as the training centers. So both availability of technology and skilling has also been taken care of. I mean, over the next 2-3 years, and it's in process. Coming to the policy, you see, you can do everything on the supply side, but it has to be passed on to the beneficiary in a package. So herein comes the novelty of this scheme called PM Vishwakarma Kaushal Yojana, which has been announced this year. This is nothing new. All that the scheme proposes to do is take each of these aspects, financing, technology, skilling, digital interventions, put them in a package and make that available to the beneficiary end to end. I think this will go a long, long way in as far as inclusivity is concerned. And I think inclusivity at one end, if you look at the micro end, is a very, very important step towards the $5 trillion economy. And it creates livelihood, it creates employment, and obviously it enhances your GDP.
And let's now get in a word from Mr. Rakesh Chhabra. Mr. Chhabra, give us a sense of the pain points that the MSMEs face currently. Are there issues with implementation? Could there be a more specific, more targeted response when it comes to some of these policies?
When we leave MSME alone, then it grows fast. When there are a lot of compliances, so we just go and attend the compliances. Generally, MSMEs, as you know, it is of proprietorship or partnership, 1 or 2 persons are there. And when they are looking for the growth and looking for taking the new trainings and acquiring new technologies, someone comes from the government in the factory and says that this compliance is not complete, this compliance is not complete. With due regards to Mr. Sen, he knows very well. And with even the central government is doing a good lot, but state governments have still to do a long way. So I will request that the government should focus only on 2-3 things which are of most important, that they are getting their tax in a proper way. Secondly, they are getting the environment clean from the MSME, no pollution is there. And the third one is safety of workers and safety of the factories.
Mr. Chawla, just to get you in, Mr. Rakesh was speaking about those compliances and how they create a burden on MSMEs on a day-to-day basis. Give us a sense of some of those compliances and how they make things burdensome.
In the real sense of MSMEs that I've worked with, they face challenges when it comes to filing GST on a regular basis. At the same time, they face challenges on the industry which is applicable on the excise and other aspects of how do they manage that. But the information which is flowing in and the participation of the government officials along with them is helping them, make and manage the compliance in a better way. So what happens is people have started to understand that a GST return filing can be automated. You can do a lot of tasks through the systems. That is helping them. But to Mr. Rakesh's point, yes, there are people who are still struggling with that. And the way we as strategists are helping them do is to delegate as much as possible to people who can do the non-core task of your business and you focus on your core business. That is how they are trying to overcome that challenge. But yes, these challenges would hinder somewhere to the people.
Let us get in Mr. Upadhyay at this point. Mr. Upadhyay, just to ask you about Symphony's own example, how important is it for MSMEs to go for these sustainability measures? How important is for MSMEs to make that transition and make it quickly?
Now, when a sector is contributing 30% of the GDP, we can't let it be away from the sustainability piece. What we are trying to achieve here is that can we motivate the MSME sector to participate in this journey of ESG? Because it's not only about regulation. When your MSMEs are contributing 50% of the exports, it's now a norm. It's a mandatory requirement by most of the exporting houses. So it's very critical for MSMEs to participate in this journey.
Ms. Rajni, what do you feel? Do you feel that there needs to be a more targeted push from the government when it comes to helping MSMEs implement some of those sustainability measures, create more awareness, have more hand-holding?
The most important part is that we have everything. Skill development is there, but there is lack of interest in the industry because they do not take it along. The courses defined are not up to the mark. And that's why I think the students or the skilled people are not really going along with the industries. So somebody has to really look into it, and the point is that the policy makers are sitting at a place where they don't know the ground realities. And they have to, when we talk of inclusiveness, the first thing we should take is the policy makers is to really include people who are the stakeholders in the whole subject. So the industry has to be a partner with each and everything, whatever policies we make. Number two, there is a lot of opportunities which has been created recently, and of course through digitization also. And it's a very interesting thing that with the initiative of the present government, the digitization has really become very popular in the country, and it has taken a very, very fast leap. So keeping that in mind, what one has to really focus is on how the micro can graduate to small and how the small can graduate to medium. And that's where we are completely lacking. And this G20, which Modi ji has really, had done a tremendous, wonderful work for the country, September, we are going to have 20 countries coming in here. And it's a wonderful opportunity for, I think, the SME to exhibit their product so that the world should know what is happening and what progress is taking place in the country. This is what I feel. And that's where the sustainability, continues, because we have to give them better places, better opportunities. Everything is available, but it has to be in a coordinated manner.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining on this panel, Thinkers of Tomorrow, brought to you by Symphony and Network 18. Thanks once again for joining us.
Symphony presents Thinkers of Tomorrow in partnership with News 18 Network.
Ladies and gents, moving on to the much-awaited awards ceremony now. Selecting the winners from a list of accomplished business leaders is no mean feat. Under stringent objective and transparent criteria, business leaders were judged by a jury comprising world-respected management strategists, academics, and corporate personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, the first category of the evening is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Education and Training category.
And the award in the category goes to Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Automobiles and OEM category.
May I please invite the representative from Auto International to come up and receive the award in this category. Moving on, the next category is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Fashion and Accessories category.
And the award in this category goes to the Lumart. Moving on, the next category is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Agriculture and Farming category.
Please put your hands together as I invite on stage team from Organic Wellness Products Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next category now.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in FMCG category.
And the award in this category goes to Aryavarta Organics Private Limited. Let's move on to the next category, please.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Hotel Chains category.
And the award in this category goes to Glampico Stays Manali. Congratulations again. Moving on to the next category now.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Restaurants and Cloud Kitchens category.
And the award in this category goes to Bigane Biryani. Moving on, the next category is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Health and Wellness category.
And the award in this category goes to Bharti Hospital. Let's move on to the next category, please.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Logistics category.
And the award in this category goes to On Move Logistics. Moving on, the next category is
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Retail and E-commerce category.
And the award in this category goes to Cleanomatic Solutions Private Limited. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to the next category.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Special category.
And to your surprise, we have 3 winners in this category, but in no particular order. The first winner is Amis Technologies. The next awardee is Vimal Plastics. A huge round of applause for Vimal Plastics, please. The next winner in special category is 3R Zero Waste Private Limited. Moving on to the last category of the evening, please.
Thinkers of Tomorrow in Most Promising MSME in North Zone.
And the award in this category goes to Organic Wellness Products Private Limited. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. I would request Mr. Sen and Harshal to kindly stay back on stage as I invite one representative from each winner teams, as well as all the panelists, to please come up on stage for a group photo op, please.
Symphony presents Thinkers of Tomorrow in partnership with News 18 Network. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.